Hi everyone, it's Deja. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I've got a few projects to inspire you for Valentine's Day. I used my Cricut Joy Xtra cutting machine for most of these projects. As always, I will link in the description section of this video of all the tools, materials, and images I used. Let's go ahead and get started. For the first project, I found this cute little white frame at Dollar Tree. I love using these inexpensive frames to do a lot of home decor. I originally cut out this piece of patterned cardstock because I thought it would be kind of cool to replace the original design. I measured the back of the frame, which is this wood backing, and it was exactly 5 inches by 5 inches. I removed the backing and then quickly realized that the patterned cardstock would take away from the actual design that I wanted to put on this frame. So I ended up just flipping it over and using the white side instead. You could paint over the original design or use several different methods to do this project. I didn't feel like painting, and I wanted to use this as a guide to form my heart with tiny roses. If you're planning on doing this project as a gift for someone, I would highly recommend painting over the original design that says Happily Ever After, and then using the cardstock paper as a guide to remove it later. It will look a lot more polished that way. But I'm just making this project for myself, so it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm doing the fast and lazy method. I simply placed the white cardstock in front of the original design, and don't worry, the tiny roses are going to cover that original background, so you won't even really see it. This is my grip mat, and I love to use this tool for card making, but I am using it here because I wanted to ink blend my own roses. I wanted to create an ombre effect, and I didn't quite have the cardstock colors in my craft room, so I decided to create my own. I cut out all of my roses in 65-pound white cardstock and chose these color ink pads from Concord and Ninth. The colors I chose were Carnation, Briar Rose, and Plumberry, and they all worked so well together. As you can see, I got some ink on my fingernails, and I'm using some brushes to ink blend. If you already have a bunch of cardstock colors that you really like, you can just use that and skip this step. But if you didn't, here is a great idea or technique that you can use to create your own color schemes. The grip mat helps hold onto the paper so that it doesn't move around while I'm ink blending. I already went ahead and made a bunch of these, and I already ink blended the back side of these white roses, so now I'm going to show you quickly how I ink blend them. This Plumberry ink pad is very juicy, so a little does go a long way. I like to pat off the excessive ink onto my glass board and then blend the remaining color that's on my brush onto the cardstock. These ink pads do dry down very, very well, so in the beginning it might look a little blotchy or like you didn't have enough, but let me tell you, it will look really, really pretty at the end. To clean up the ink, I just used my stamp chamois to wipe everything off. You'll need a glue gun for this next step, and I went ahead and turned on my glue gun. I'm using a fine tip glue gun here. To roll up my flowers, I am using a quilling tool. These are really inexpensive. I found mine at Hobby Lobby for about $1.79. These are nice because it has a slit in between this metal piece where you can slide the end tip of your flower. All it does, it really just holds onto the paper so that you can easily roll it up and form it into a rose or flower. But if you don't have this tool, you can simply use a chopstick or a pencil. Since I'm making super tiny roses, I think a toothpick might be better for rolling smaller flowers. And here you'll see I am just simply and quickly rolling it up to form it into a rose. And once I get to the end, I will let the flower unravel a little bit because I don't want it to be too tight. After letting it unravel, I will then put glue on the end to secure it into place. Please be mindful and watch your fingertips because the glue gun is going to be really hot and you don't want to burn yourself. You can create your ombre heart in any color order. I chose to do light on the top and then dark on the bottom, and I decided that it would be easier to start gluing from the bottom and move up. I have Plumberry on the bottom and Briar Rose in the middle and then Carnation on the top. actually didn't cut out enough roses, so I did go back and cut out a few more roses with my cutting machine. Altogether, I have a total of 35 roses. Here is the final look after cutting more roses and gluing them on. I think it turned out really, really pretty. I love the ombre and the color scheme. If you look closely, you can kind of see the original background peeking in the back, but if you're not looking that close, you can't even see it at all. We are going to make a cute cup next. I found this pink plastic cup at Hobby Lobby for $4.99. Then I found this super cute design in Cricut Design Space that was made intentionally as a wrap for cups and mugs. It has the cutest little hearts and bows. I cut out the bows using this dark pink vinyl and the pink hearts with a pink color changing vinyl. I did not get a chance to film how the hearts change colors, but basically if you put cold liquids into the cup, as the vinyl becomes cold, the light pink will turn into this really, really pretty dark pink color. So now what I'm doing is I am putting transfer tape on top of the pink hearts, and then I'm going to carry it over and line it up with the bows. After they're both lined up, I am going to make sure to burnish them both very well so that they stick onto the transfer tape. I will carefully remove a small portion of the backing of the vinyl and then align it on the top part of the pink cup to make sure that it is where I want the design to go. I am only putting the design on the top part, so before you cut out the design, make sure that you measure the width and the height of the area where you will be putting the vinyl design on. You can put extra designs on the bottom too, but I really just liked it on the top. When it is aligned perfectly, I will then pull away the backing sheet of the pink vinyl just to expose a little bit of it, and then slowly and carefully, using my scraper tool to burnish the vinyl down as I move across the entire cup. Also, I didn't show this in the video, but be sure to clean the surface of your cup before you lay the vinyl down. I used rubbing alcohol and a lint-free washcloth to wipe it down. This just helps the vinyl stick on better and stay down for a much longer time. So while you watch me finish putting the vinyl onto my cup, I just wanted to quickly say a late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of my subscribers and viewers. I know that I didn't post anything the last 4 months, and that was intentional. I had a lot of things going on in my life. I had a course that I needed to finish, and I had a lot of Christmas projects and gifts to make, and it was just a really busy time, so I really didn't want to put too much pressure on my shoulders. So I guess you can say I purposely went on a YouTube break. During that time, I was able to crochet my first daisy flower granny square cardigan, and it turned out so pretty. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see pictures of it. Alright, so going back to my cup, what I'm doing right now is slowly removing the transfer tape after I've burnished the vinyl down very well. Be sure to remove the transfer tape slowly so that it doesn't accidentally lift up any vinyl. Removing it too quickly can result in lifting up the vinyl and ripping it. So again, just do this part slowly. I did have a few vinyl boo-boos and needed to fix 2 of the hearts. I don't know what happened, but one of the hearts ended up landing on top of one of the bows, so I needed to remove that. And then there was another heart that was just in a really weird spot, so I also ended up picking it up and moving it to a different location as well. And here I'm just placing it right here because it looked really cute. And then using my scraper tool, I'm going to burnish that down to make sure that it sticks on very well. And here's the final look of my new cup. I love this hearts and bows design. And again, you can put something down here if you want to, but I really just like the look of the design on top. For my next project, I found this big wooden heart ornament at Hobby Lobby. It was 40% off of the price tag. When I saw this at the store, the first thing I thought about was painting the heart and creating an ombre effect. I chose these 3 acrylic paint colors, and they are Cameo Pink, Coral Pink, and Pink Eraser. I decided to do the darkest color on the top and then going to the lightest on the bottom. This was honestly such a fun and relaxing craft project because it doesn't require a lot of thinking or planning. You just pick 3 colors and paint away. I love doing easy and inexpensive projects like these because they're fast and they're also super cute and you can really do anything with it. The possibilities are endless. Another technique on how you can apply paint to this heart and create the ombre effect is to put paint on a large piece of parchment paper and then lay the heart on top of it. I have done this before and it turns out really nice too. When I finished painting, I went back with a really small detailed paintbrush to scoop out any excessive paint that went in between the cracks to clean it up. And I also went back to add paint to any areas that wasn't completely covered with paint. Once it's dry, you can add the string back on, and here is the final look. I think it turned out really pretty, and I just love it. You can do any colors. I just thought that these colors were very fitting for Valentine's Day. Next, I made this easy and cute Valentine's Day card. Again, I used my Cricut Joy Xtra cutting machine and the Print Then Cut feature in Cricut Design Space. I used 65-pound white cardstock for the card front and a red Cricut cardstock for the card base. All of these images and shapes are available in Cricut Design Space. Again, these are included in the description section of this video. The only thing I really need to do to amp up this card to make it even cuter is to color the flowers and leaves inside of the heart. I am using Ohuhu alcohol markers with the brush tip. After coloring, I will then put double-sided foam tape on the back side of this card front and attach it to the red card base. Like I said, this project is very simple and cute. I will be honest, my coloring skills are not the best when filming because I don't have the card close up to my eyes, and this is because I don't want my head blocking the camera. However, the idea here is to inspire you, and I hope this gives you extra ideas to create your own Valentine's Day card. Here is the final look of this card. My Valentine's Day card measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is completely optional, but you can certainly put a piece of white cardstock paper on the inside to write your message. I would recommend cutting down that piece of white cardstock paper down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 for a nice clean look. This next project is another really simple and easy one. I thought instead of making a Valentine's Day card, maybe you might want to create cute little cards for your children to color or for your children to pass out to their friends or classmates as a Valentine's Day treat. This would be a cute idea, and you can attach a piece of candy or write an encouraging message on the back. Obviously, you don't have to use this image, but this is just to give you another idea on how you can use your Cricut cutting machine to create Valentine's Day cards instead of buying. Lastly, I had this light pink sweatshirt in my blinks drawer for the longest time. I purchased this from Jiffy. It used to be called Jiffy Shirts, but now it's just Jiffy. I decided that I wanted to put this beautiful design on it. It says, "Love like Jesus." I don't have anything like this, so I'm making this shirt specifically for me. I'm using this electric rose gold Easy Weed HTV by Caesar. It is one of my favorite HTV and brand. I think it is true to its name. It is really easy to weed and easy to press, and the quality is pretty awesome. I started by pre-pressing my shirt to remove any wrinkles and moisture in the shirt. Then I used my lint roller to remove any lint that is sitting on top of the shirt. I was actually out of the lint paper and needed to refill it, but this last part of the lint roller is pretty sticky, so it's okay, I just used that. Then I aligned it as best as I could on the shirt. You can definitely use an alignment ruler, but I just eyeballed it. For the purpose of filming, I used my 6x7 Cricut heat press so that you can see the pressing process. I pressed the design onto the shirt for 15 seconds at 315 degrees Fahrenheit using firm pressure. I pressed the right side first and then moved to the left side and pressed it for the same amount of time. Then I waited until the shirt cooled down to remove the HTV carrier sheet. Be sure to remove slowly in case the vinyl didn't adhere onto the shirt and it lifts back up. Nothing lifted up, so that was pretty good. I have a habit of just doing this next part, but I like to go back and press it for a few more seconds with a Teflon sheet on top of the HTV. And this is again a habit of mine. But basically, I like to do this because I feel like when I remove the carrier sheet, sometimes it lifts that vinyl back up. Not completely, but to me, I feel like it lifts back up again, and going back one more time to press it just kind of helps reassure myself that it is completely pressed down, if that makes any sense. But look at the shine of this HTV. It's really pretty. It's not sparkly and it's not glittery. It has a really nice metallic electric look to it. And here's the packaging of that HTV. But I really liked the way how it looks. And now I'm just going to go back and look at all of the projects that I made in this video. I made this pink sweatshirt and this super cute hearts and bows cup. I'm really excited to drink my iced coffee with this cup. It's so cute and pretty. My daughter asked if I could make one for her too, and I definitely will. I also made this wall decor using tiny paper roses to form an ombre heart. Purple is one of my favorite colors, and it just looks really pretty. Then I made a sweet Valentine card and a fun coloring card that can be mass-produced for the kiddos in your life or their friends and classmates at school or church. I think it'll be a really fun just idea for kids to color and, have a little sweet message for Valentine's Day. Lastly, I painted this pink ombre heart. It's a simple and unique wall decor for any space. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that these ideas inspired you to create some really fun and unique Valentine's gifts and decor for Valentine's Day. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!